Hey everybody. That's right, I am streaming today. Well, we're just gonna do a little stream, little project, little quick build. We're gonna build an LED. What are we building? Where's my title? I don't even know what I'm building. This is gonna be great. I don't even know what I'm doing. I am getting a little under the weather. So we're building a QRPGuys LED tuning indicator. And we're going to talk through that a little bit. Oh, we got a bunch of people walking in already. Hello from Wisconsin. What's up? Happy Easter. Very, very good. So we got the chat room connected. Everything's working. Little random stream. Thanks so much for tuning in here. Ooh. So what's up, everybody? I am a little under the weather, or getting under the weather. So we're going to build up a tuning indicator, an LED tuning indicator. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, can't you just use an SWR meter like this guy, right? This is a MFJ QRP and high power. What's this thing go up to? 300 watts output SWR meter. Nice little desktop unit. In fact, a lot of people use these in emergency preparedness or go boxes or whatever, stuff like that. Well, what if you want something a little smaller? And here's an example of what we're gonna be talking about. So here's somebody that I've been following for a long time. This is WG0AT, and he has a mountain topper, and off of the antenna is a little black dongle with LEDs, and next to that or beyond that is something that looks like a little plastic egg, and it's got a dial on it, and that's an impedance match or impedance matcher, right? So the purpose of that is to get, it's not tuning, right? It's not in tuning the antenna, but it's getting a readout of where your antenna is regarding the match to your feed line to the radio. In my case, I'm using sometimes, I aspire to be like a WG0AT here. I would love to just go into the world or whatever out in the field with a radio like this, just a simple radio. Runs off of a 9-volt, or you can run a little bit better battery, and be able to work CW, right? No tuner in this whole thing, right? There's no tuner, there's no internal battery. You know, use something like these little zip batteries, which we'll talk about in a second, and you can just work CW. Well, the problem with that is once you get the thing down to a certain size, you can't cram much more into it, like a matching network or anything like that. So you generally have to mess around with the antenna. That could be shortening a dipole, right, that you've tuned in the field. It could mean lots of things. So in our case, we're going to use the chameleon loop antenna because it's a really good example of showing how this LED thing works. So we're going to build it up. But the idea is, let me go to the chat. I just got my cousin into ham radio, and he's been on Hamsphere until he gets his real license. He has also been operating third party in the local repeaters. Oh, very cool. Very good. Yeah, I'm sneaking in a stream. So I went and bought some things on the QRPGuys here. And we'll walk through this website briefly. QRPGuys has this LED tuning indicator. $20, simple little kit. Real simple. It's basically two BNC posts, a female and a male, a switch to bypass, and then there's an LED light. I don't know how this thing works, but I bet I could tell you. The closer to resonance that you get the antenna to your radio and your feed line, the LED will become brighter. Okay, that's basically what this is going to work. So we're going to use the chameleon loop, which has a really high Q, so it's got a really negative, a really narrow dip where the antenna is resonant. So we should see this very easily. And I can illustrate this just audibly so you guys understand. And that's what we're going to be building right now here in a bit. Just while we're here, I thought I'd walk through some of this other stuff too. The antennas that they have are probably the most interesting thing, most thing people use the most. I have this antenna. This is a tri-bander. It does 20, 30, 40. This is... That's not a very good picture. The end-fed no-tune, half-wave, this guy. How they make it no-tune is that you're cutting the elements. You have it cuts, but you take extra line for all the different elements you want to run. That's why it's no tune. Where is the mini no tune end fed? Ooh. What's this now? I haven't seen this. What is this? 10 through 80 end. Okay, no tune. 80 to 10 end fed half wave. $20. I may have to look into this. Okay. Okay. I don't think I'm going to get that today. Let's see. This is the other thing I want to look into is a trapped dipole with these. But anyway, really cool stuff. Really great stuff from the QRP guys. So make sure you check them out. I'm unaffiliated with them, but I like what they make. So anyway, basically this is the instructions for this bad boy. This is what it looks like. Pretty simple. So let's get flipped around to the desk here. Get ready. Because I lined up like everything. I pulled out like all my radios, or at least some of them, because we're going to play around a little bit. So here's my illustration of this, right? So I've got my Hilltopper 20, which is just a simple 20-meter CW radio. And if I connect this to power, same thing with this MFJ, right? This MFJ, no tuner, no SWR meter, neither one of them do. So when you get it to power, let's put a speaker on it and an antenna. In this case, it's connected to the Chameleon. Let's crank the volume on this bad guy. Sorry again, I'm a little tired. I'm under the weather. Good morning from London, UK. Hey, Alan Giles, what's up? Does QRPGuys antenna stuff only work with QRP? Yeah, Blake, it's mainly QRP, and generally that's because it's pretty lightly made stuff, pretty thin gauge wire. Okay, so that was the power on. Can you hear this? You know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna use the MFJ. I think it's gonna be louder. This is a good example though because there's like 0 controls on this thing. I want to give you a real loud audio so you can hear what I'm about to show you. So let's get the phones connected here. And I pre-wound this Toroid, so we won't have to do it live. Because that's always fun, right? And that's a 25 wound. I don't even want to mess with that. All right. Oh, sorry. Oh, never mind. This guy's got an internal battery. We don't need to mess with that. Oh, much louder. Okay, hear that? Hear that white noise coming out of here? Now, off camera, I've got this Chameleon, and I'm going to detune it. White noise gone. Right? Bring it back up. Go too far, falls off again. So that's the match of the antenna, right? That's about the top right there. So what we're going to try and do, and that's great for receiving, right? You can just go on and just tune to the noise level and be like, hey, I'm good. I found it. I found the spot. But we want to do better than that. We want to make it so that it's you're getting a really precise match for your antenna that you're going to be using, so that you're putting out all them RFs. Where is my chat? Is gone. Hold on. Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened. That'll make my life easier. Okay, good. Now I can see everybody a lot easier. Hey, everybody. Appreciate... Oh, and of course, it stops functioning. There we go. Got 56 people watching for the surprise stream. Obviously, this is not set to any time. Why is it not letting me... There we go. Jeez, it's moving the window around. Why are you being like this? Anyway, now I can see the chat. Sorry about that. Okay. So, I've got this little kit. It should be extremely easy to build. Also, I do have this other kit, which we'll do on another day. This is actually a whisper module that slaps on the top of a Raspberry Pi. So we will wire this up. There's a lot of toroids in there, though. What is that, 7? Oh, man. I didn't know about that when I bought this. I don't think you have any windings in it, but we're going to hang on to this for another time. I'm going to put that up there. So this kit's incredibly easy. In fact, let's flip over here. This kit's real easy. Oh, that camera is... Again, with these cameras. I get them all tuned up and then they flip out. Where'd it go? I love that. I check everything before we start, and then, you know, you go live, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, no bueno. Oh, is he dead? Is he done? Of course he's going to be done, right? Okay, there is back, and let's tweak it. And there, now you get to see everything. Technology, man, never wants to work for me. Okay, so we've got this really simple little guy. Let's open him up. Get me back on frame here. So I'm not using a parts caddy or anything like that because this is actually a really, really easy kit. And basically, you've got your board. You have a resistor, a diode, a capacitor, and those are not shunts. Why do I always do that? I always get them mixed up. And a couple BNC posts. And then a little screw, and an LED, and a washer, and a switch. And these are bent to all hell. Ooh, okay. Oh. Video did not want to focus, so. Boy, this camera, man. I don't know what I do to these Logitech cameras, but they just absolutely don't want to work for me. Okay. I always like parts trays, though. I really recommend them for kit building. I also like magnet cups. Magnet cups are really good. I'm just straightening the legs out on these guys. Sorry about that. I looked in the bag. I looked at the parts. It looked like it was all there, but sure enough. Okay, so let's take a look at step one. What do we have? Looks like we got all the pieces we need. Signal diode. That's it. Glass with black bead on a red one. Cool. Cupcake tins work really good for parts too. Yep. K6UDA. K6UDA's in the house. What's up, everybody? Or what's up, Bob? How you been, buddy? Chat box looks dead. Oh, great. I swear. I try all these things out, but... Okay. Chat box is back. I mean, you have the YouTube chat box, but, you know... Got some solder there. What's the first thing we need to do? I love that instruction. It says to install C2. There is no C1. Ooh. Okay. So C1, C2 is right there. There is no C1. Indeed, I have my Elgato Steam Box, which allows me to do
things like this. How do you like my voice now?
Was that overdriven?
When I do that, oh wow, it really drives the mic up. So this sound bot really kicks the mic up. Sorry about
that. Sorry about that. Which way do I want this? let me see how this... Let me go back up to the picture here. Okay, that's easy enough. Okay. I got my fine point soldering tip on, so I don't know what kind of solder joints I'm going to get, if I have to hold on longer or what. We'll see right now. That's actually pretty good. Pretty clean. Do not want anything magnetic on bench. No anti-static mat. Why? Because I don't need it. Because I'm barefoot, standing on the ground right now. Yeah, somebody else posted that on my one of my last videos. Oh, you gotta have an anti-static mat. Okay. I mean, you can. It's probably good, but I'd rather have this big clutter of mess like this. All right, what's next? Install D1 or D2 signal diode observing the black polarity. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Okay. So here's the diode. Right, see the little black band? You can see it probably against my white ass hand a little bit easier there. So I'm going to take it, use my... This guy slips in... Oh, this is a... Okay, unbend it because you need it real close. These holes are ridiculous. Was that D1? Oh, and D2. Ah. Good thing I checked. See, this is what's going to get me in trouble, is I'm coming down with a cold. I'm coming down with a cold. And I'm like, hey, let's build a kit. You think that's a good idea? That's a good idea. I'm going to check this really fast. What is R4? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, this is an incredibly easy build. Oh, D2 is not even used, or D1. Oh, yeah, what is it, the Leonids? Oh, cool. Bob's got a Wires X room. So, yeah, the meteor shower is... Is it the Leonids? You know, going back to that anti-static mat, let me say this. I don't begrudge anybody for extra prevention and safety, but I feel like people make a lot of comments with or without, oftentimes without, ever actually practicing the thing that they're talking about. And they have a lot of opinions on what is supposed to be done, like how it's supposed to be done, but they kind of either don't build kits or they've never experienced the problem in question. So they're really just talking about a feeling they have, and maybe it's backed up with you know, logical evidence, but the likelihood of you actually experiencing the issue that they're discussing is probably still pretty rare. I have no problem with prevention. I'm with you, but the Lyrids. Oh yeah, okay, cool. All right, so what's next? This is going to be a fun one, and then we can get right into using it. So, unlike my other kits that usually take 1 to 2 episodes, this one is going to be done in probably 10 minutes or so. Oh, maybe not, because we do have to install the Toroid, which is always... Toroids are kind of a pain in the ass to install. I'll be honest. And I'm kind of like installing a part and then soldering it, and installing a part and soldering it. I don't normally do that. I install like 4 or 5 parts and then I solder it. So, 25 years of building computers, maybe Zach. So Tony, I agree completely. I don't have that much experience as you, but I was IT for, and when I say IT, I was the only IT in a school district back when the kids did all the work. I probably put together 5 or 6 computer labs. Every teacher's computer went through me. I've had my hands on all kinds of stuff, network equipment, because it was back in the 90s, so, they barely had any budget for this stuff. Technology was new, and I swear I've never had any problems, unless I was doing it intentionally. And believe me, I intentionally damaged some things. Like old computers we were getting rid of. You better believe I've turned some CMOS chips around, or BIOS chips around, and plugged them in. That's fun. They bubble up real funny, and they smell real bad. These were pretty much unusable computers, by the way. I wasn't destroying stuff that should be used. These are BIOS chips that were very old. K6UDA. Kind of true. I don't agree. The winding, you're right, is the worst. The problem with Toroids that pisses me off is getting the enamel off of them. The enameled wire pisses me off. I actually want to make a solder pot. The solder pot, you just dip the enameled wire into a solder pot, and it takes the enamel right off of it, which is awesome. Okay, on the front of the board, install D1, the clear LED. Okay. Which way do the legs go? Polarity must be correct. The short lead is the negative and goes to the top of the board. Okay. All right. Just popping the LED in here. Come on. You're not going to go in any further? There we go. I want that flush mount. I don't smoke and neither do my radios. That's funny. William Fogel, most kits I build, including my K2, said to use a mat. Great. Like I said, I don't have a problem with anybody who wants to do that. I'm not begrudging anybody who wants to have a mat. I just don't know when we became kit builders that must have mats. It seems like it's something that happened relatively recently. I don't feel like that's a trend that has been around for very long. Maybe it's about the same time that all these mats started popping up on Amazon, and everybody wants you to go buy it. Okay, that LED looks good. I didn't melt it or anything. Install S1, the slide switch, installing all 4 corners and the electrical pins. Next, assemble the Toroid. I think we're almost done. Oh, I got to do the BNCs and the adapter. So this guy, here's our switch. What, I smashed the leads again? God, this thing is really some soft metal in this switch. Okay. I got that guy in. We got 66 people watching on the YouTube side there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I know it's a bit late for some of you. If you would be so kind, give me a thumbs up. It would help. I know I didn't plan to do this, so that's usually why these ones are a little private kind of affair. If anybody wants to ask a question, you can do so. I don't know if I like this tip. It's a little too fine. Mats are good for static sensitive devices like the ICS and small reverse voltage diodes in some kits. However, the mat is kind of useless without grounding strap. Yeah. Favorite soldering station is the Hako on Amazon. Well, I guess favorite is relative. If I were to recommend someone go buy a soldering station, and when the one that I'm using now goes kaput, I will likely be getting a Hako. They're inexpensive and of pretty high quality. All right, we got one switchy switch, one switchy bro. What's next? Okay, for L1, use the black core toroid. Where does this go? Goes here. Those are the 3 holes, right? There's the tap. Okay, let's see. Solder L1 where indicated on the PCB and centered on the screw hole. You will notice the tap hole indicated is slightly larger in diameter to accept the double twisted wire. Yeah. What would I recommend? What would you recommend for a new kit builder for ham radios? So one of my favorite kits that I built was the 2P3 Texan AM receiver. I really liked building that kit. I did it on a live stream. It has a really good instruction manual that comes with it. You have to do some tuning, which I thought was a lot of fun. If you wanted to build a radio, then you go with the I lost the camera again. I would go with the Hilltopper. Why does that keep cutting out? It's very frustrating. I swear, I don't know why I keep going through. I keep just plowing through all these Logitech cameras. No, this is a, what is it, C? What are you? It's the HD 1080p. I don't know why. Anyway, I was gonna say, this guy is what, $100? $100, 20 meters. They have a 40 meter version of this now. CW only, and everything is audio tones. Simple. Actually, this is probably easier to build than that Texan. That receiver. And this is a transceiver. It does take some shortcuts. That Texan is a purely component based. It doesn't have any smarty chips on there. That this guy has a, what do they have in it? So it's a Raduino or something like that. Somebody might know, but it's got a board in it that has some smarts. Jeff Buffington, I've had the great displeasure of wearing a bunny suit. I don't mind the smocks and hairnets, but the bunny suits suck. Yeah, I've had to wear that with the beard hair thing and the hat, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I don't, not a big fan of that. Not a big fan. Ronnie Julian. Sadly, no. Here's what I would recommend. Take a good camera, 1080p camera, something, and get a video card, one of those standalone video breakout boxes that they use, a stream box that is for internet streamers. And that connects via HDMI to this box. Your camera connects into the box, and you're basically streaming the video. I've used those USB microscopes. They suck. I do agree. Andy Miller, I agree. I totally agree. I would... Sounds like you need to move away from webcams. If money was no object, I would have already done that. But that's not the case. So that largely dictates what I do. Okay. Let me look at this board again because I'm confused how this trap goes in. So yeah, I get that's T1. Oh, I see. Okay, that's actually pretty easy. So basically this guy has a trapped double twisted wire, another guy here. Yeah, like that. Yep, just like that. Okay. I can cut now. Haha, yeah, 70D, right? Hey, OH8STN's up. Hey, how's it going, buddy? A IC706 Mark II-G from an estate is $500 a steal. Is it a good computer controllable HF radio? That I don't know. Hopefully someone knows in the stream. Yeah, maybe somebody will know in the stream. I'm not familiar with that radio, so I can't be of much more assistance. Okay, so we've got this guy. What I do is I just hold him. And actually, it's probably best to just hit him with some... I hate taking off the enamel. That's actually my least favorite thing. I end up really just burning it off with the soldering iron. But you don't want to go too far, because then you'll actually... I've melted a toroid, if that's possible. Yeah, that's about what I expected would happen. Okay, what do I want to do? I hate doing these. That's the thing I don't like, is messing with the toroids. Then why do you build kits for ham radio? God. I know, right? Let that cool off for a little bit. That was the big one. That was the twisted one. There you go. OH8STN's having some good weather. That's good. Looks like P.O Cracker Box. Gotta love that name. Says looks like $700 on eBay. That's very good. I mean, for $500, does it come with anything? I think the question was, is it computer controllable though? Don't know. Maybe not. Okay. Does that burn the water? It's not water. I understand it's flux, but I don't know why I just did that. I'm very tired. The kids, I said I was coming down with something, which I am. But they all wanted to go to a grunion run. Anybody have grunion where they live? Familiar with this? Have you heard of this? Are you familiar with this? Heard of this? It's a fish that comes up on the beach to spawn and lay their eggs, and then it boogies on out back to the sea. And it only comes out at night. And so they're going to go hang out with some fish mating. Great. I have been to a grunion run, but they weren't running that day. I guess the grunion are picky about when they get in the mating mode. Let's clean off that. Whoa now! Got my iron wire caught up on my camera arm. What kind of sponge are you using? Looks like some quart. Yeah, K6GDA. This is basically an SOS pad. I never use sponge. Never use a sponge. Use the metal pad. You don't use heat sinks to keep from overheating the components? No. Crispy critters, you don't need heat sinks most of the time. You might if you're doing surface mounts or something more heat sensitive. This is not as heat sensitive. William Fogel, you could always wind your own and use better wire. Okay. It's a $20 kit. Buy Grubbian in the swamp. You put in that. Come on. Universal Radio is a great resource to see what accessories have been sold for the radio. Hey, that is literally, that's a really good comment. Yeah, I do that myself. I really like that. ...2009 they were discontinued. So, you may get a cat control out of it. You might not. Okay, how do we do on this? Looks like it's pretty good. I'm going to finish it up, though. Where's my bag of tricks? There it is. Finish it up with ye old flat file. So what I do for this guy, can you see this here? Yeah. So I just hold it down on the table and just drag, just go in the pull, like get it set up where it would be on the board and just drag it down off of the end. You'll get some more out of it. You don't want to do too hard though, because I've actually broken wire before. And you can also just put your finger over the top of it and pull. You don't want to do too much though, because you will break it. And then you will be sad. Because then you have to rewind another toroid. So it only goes in one way. Go like that. Like that. And in the hole here. Okay. How about a Dremel to take off the enamel? Ooh, I know, for me, you may do better at this than me. I would break that sucker. I know I would melt. I would kill the wire. The wire would be gone. There'd be nothing left. I can guarantee that. So a couple things to note when you do this. Your solder joints will tell you a lot about how well you did the enamel wire. If you didn't do a great job at it, it will be like a little bubble. And that will usually indicate that you might have some enamel left over. So I'm seeing a little bubbly on one of them. That one's not bad. The trapped one's okay. I'm gonna dance with the devil. I'm gonna cut this one because I think it's good. I'm gonna leave that one because I can come back and touch it up, hit it with a little flux, and try that again. Okay, so that's that guy. And let's see, how does the screw goes on which way? Let me show you the instrucciones. Is that it? That's not it. Nope. One of these buttons will do it. I'm getting used to using this thing, so. All right. Okay, so the plasticky nut goes through this way. Oh, wait for it. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought I was doing a good job, but then I screwed that up. Don't want to force this. That would be bad. Thankfully, the diameter of this is not that long or that wide, so we can go through like that. Plasticky nut or washer, and then plasticky nut. Yeah, Julian or Julian says the IC706 has full cat and is still a great radio. I'd buy one at $600 if it was in good condition. The MK2 model for a year and wish I still had it. Most cables are still around. Yeah, so I assumed it would have cat controller. You're going to need an audio interface. It's not going to be like a 7300. Illiterate Beef got my first HF rig yesterday at a Hamfest FT450D. Just need to get a wire up on my patio. Right on. Cheers to that. Tony! KG5 TON says, on your $200 Patreon settings, you have 2 Baofangs radio to choose from. Have you considered any others? No. Those are both the 8-watt Baofangs that I recommend. I don't recommend any other ones than that. So my microscope cam's actually right here. This thing's junk. So it's got one of those USB ones that can go into micro and back. And it has a manual control for zoom. It's not great. What happened, so this is probably just my fault because I was doing a live stream with this. It really ate up resources, and I couldn't run that and multiple cameras. This computer that I'm streaming with now won't have any problem. I haven't had, I guess I could try it, but I only have the USB hub that has an available port, so maybe next time. I'm just drinking a red wine. I don't remember what it is. Yes, 3mm depth of field. Yeah, that was horrible when I was messing around with that. Okay, what's next here? Turn your soldering iron temperature to up. Okay. Don't have to tell me twice. The 4 ground connections on the outside part of the metal require more heat than the ordinary leaded components. Install the male BNC connector flush with the front side of the board. Install the BNC. Okay, well, so this one, instead of... let's just look at the picture. So the front is the one with the switch on it. So that gets the male. Like that, because that's what's going to go into the radio. Yes. Good. Okay. This is a fiddly bit. Just trying to get a tack on there with my hand. I'm literally holding it with my hand just so I can get it to stay, so it's staying. Then I'll go back and I'll tack in all the other ones and redo the one that I did. In case anybody was watching that, my solder is just sitting here on the table, and you can just tap on it and you'll get some of it on a ball. It'll ball up on the tip. So you can just do that. It doesn't leave a mark on your desk. Ooh, these do require a lot of heat. Holy smokes. Wow. That was surprising. Julian, Stream Deck has nothing to do with the camera. You would need a... the Stream Deck is just what I use to control the scenes that I'm changing. Like when I jump over here and back and over the desk. That's all done with the Stream Box. Or if I want to play the intro song, that's all that the Stream Deck does. It also tells me some of the things like how many people are watching and what my processor hit is. Video capture card. That's what I was thinking. They make external video capture cards that are just in little boxes. They run you, I don't know, about $100. That's what you'd want if you wanted to connect a GoPro or something like that. But I wouldn't use a GoPro for a kit building exercise. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Ooh, come on now. You're not going to get... you're going to get a real affected barrel with the GoPro. Tony, take it easy. I have a question. I have a Yaesu FT250HT, which is 2 meters. It's discontinued. 2 hand mics, 2 batteries, and a charger. Is that a good price? Don't know. I don't know. What I would recommend you do is go on eBay and see the past sales for that radio and see what they went for. Ooh, it's a little warm. Little warm. Okay, I'm going to snip this guy. Okay. Same thing as before. I've got like one finger on the plug. I've got the other finger, but I've got to switch hands because that's not going to work with my soldering hand being my left hand. Hold it like that. Hit some solder. Sucks it up into a ball, and then just lay it on top. And you're not really trying to make a joint. Like, you're not trying to make a good connection. You're just trying to get the part to stay in. And that's all there is to that. Yeah, use Hamless for retails is a good place. Oh, yeah. Did you decide, Bob? I don't know if you told me whether you're going to Hamvention or not. I think you were originally not. The center pin of the BNC goes in much easier than the ground connections. Okay. All right, what else we got? Okay, we did that. Wait. Did it say to do the resistors? Okay, so we got R1, R2, R3. Let's... These slots, and I don't see where it said to do that. Install R1 through R3. I see what they did there. Okay, this is the easy part. Power resistors. Ah, bummer. Bob, we will miss you. With the Yaesu FT2DR rebate about to end, do you think a new HT is on the way? That has been a discussion of much note recently, and the prevailing opinion is no, but I wouldn't be surprised if yes, because we are going to be in Dayton, right? A couple of things of note. What has gone on sale recently with Yaesu? The FT2DR, the FT70, and the FT400. Is that right? The mobile, the one I have that I don't remember. They've all gone on sale. So one could make a compelling argument that Yaesu is just going to like surprise everybody and release a bunch of new stuff, considering a lot of those radios are kind of older now. You know, if you think about it, the FTM 400, how old is that? It's pretty old. I'm still a fan of the FT2DR. I still think it's a really good radio. For those that are going to Dayton, we are doing a meetup Saturday night at the Warped Wing Brewing House in downtown Dayton. Starts at 6. And if you want to go, on the Ham Radio Crash Course Facebook page, make sure you go in there and click the event thing and click the going. That way I can get a head count of who wants to attend. I can make sure that I try and scope out spots for people. Okay, so we're going to do these power resistors real fast, and then we're done. And we can test this bad boy out. And hopefully I did the windings right. Not the windings. Actually, the windings are seldom my problem. It's the it really is that the enamel. I hate messing with that enamel. I really do. Ooh, that got a little hot. Aha, yes. We indoctrinated Bob into Team FT2DR. Oh, the Zaiju ran out of batteries. I had that. What was I doing with that thing? I had the Zaiju sitting here and it was on with the dummy load. And it got a little warm. These guys, though, are running off a battery. Wait. One of these days, I'll figure out how to do this. Just change the name of these buttons. The 891 and the U-Bit X is actually on the same battery. It's running off of the Dakota lithium battery that's back here. And it's still doing okay. There's been like no activity on CW though. Bummer. I really like the FTM 400. Yeah. Yeah, Andy, I don't have a D74, but I do really like the FT2DR. Okay, so I think we're done with our little project. Well, we'll see, right? Hold on, not so fast. Okay, so let's go to dest here. So if I did this right, you got unoperate and you got a tune. So install the BNC. Like so. See? Sits in the back here. You got this LED right there. Got the antenna connection to the chameleon, which is right next to me, so that's going to radiate right to my brain with all of the sub 5 watts this bad boy has putting out. So I think if we just hold down function, hey, red light. So it'll give you 5 seconds to tune, okay? So that red light tells you we're probably pretty tuned up. Now I'm gonna tune it off. I'm gonna go out of it. So it nulls the noise. I'm gonna do function again. Still there. Okay. All right, it's a little dimmer. Okay, so what's the use of this? Let's go back to web. It's supposed to dim out when it's... This was designed for use with an antenna tuner that does not have an SWR indicator, or tuning your antenna with your rig to run without a tuner. Place the device in between your radio and your tuner. When your feed line, the tuner is rated for 10 watts. Good to know, 10 watts PEP. 5 watts CW, and incorporates an LED absorption bridge circuit connection. In the tune position, you cannot damage your transmitter caused by high SWR. That's good to know. Is only showing reflected power at full brilliance. Your SWR at half brilliance. Your SWR is and the LED will completely extinguish at 1:1. Tip from Dan: if your LED does not completely go out at 1:1, there may be a little too much gain on L1, the indicator transformer. Just reduce the turns on the high side of the tap, 1 or 2 turns. Okay, so we could have a problem with our toroid. Wonderful. I should have read that going in. James, I am working on a... By the way, let me unplug this. By the way, I was playing around with the sling antenna. I did get that up on the garage rafters, and I have concerns that when they re-roofed my house, they used aluminum foil covered backings. So we built this little tuning indicator that uses an LED for QRP radios. Because, for those of you that are just catching me right now, radios like this MFJ and this Hilltopper are wonderfully portable, and I want to use them more often. But you got to know what you're doing with the antenna, right? So basically this guy is a little go-between. Not an SWR meter, right, like we talked about. Not a guy like this, right? Just a little LED unit that tells you whether you're on the money or not. And so that when you're not running a tuner, right? So these are I specifically got this because I don't have a tuner on these radios, and I'm not going to use one with these radios. What this allows you to do is for the antennas I'm packing, like this chameleon, I can just monkey around with that dial until I get it really dim. In this case, the bulb really dim, and we should be good to go. So let's try this again. Okay. So now when I hold the function down, I am going to quickly work the dial here and see if we can see a visible effect. Let me go back to the desktop. Bam! 1:1. Got it! You see that? So if you hold down the function button on this radio, it'll give you 5 seconds of just a carrier signal. So hold it down, and then I'm going to work the knob on the chameleon. So that high Q, right? You got to be right on there to get that 1:1. Got it. Kind of. When my hand's on it, it affects things a little bit. The FTM 400 is a great... Bob's out there. APRS was the seller for me. Yep, for me too. Display holds up really well in the Jeep. Doesn't fade out like the ID 5100. I didn't know that happened with the ID 5100. But the display is really nice. It's really bright. I like it, but save my pennies for the ELAD FDDM tool. Yeah. So now you've got your whole thing set up. If you didn't have your key connected, ooh, I've got a Pico paddle, right? So now technically this antenna is locked in for 14.0600 megahertz. Not feeling great. So now when I key up, my body is actually, because I'm close to the antenna, I'm going to try and move this away a little bit. Blimey! Got too much stuff in here. Oh, come on. That's about as good as it's going to get. Did I screw up my... Yeah, mess with my green screen a little bit. My backpack from my walking with a ham radio event that I did. Not a soda activation, just a walk with a ham radio. Okay, so that's about as close as I can get to be able to get my hand on it. So let's do this again. Oh. Oh, see my hand? When I bring my hand close? Okay. So that's that. It's working. So this is fantastic now, which is kind of funny because, I mean, the Chameleon is like no joke, man. This thing is like, it's a big antenna, right? It's like, where's that? Oh my God, the loop's attacking the camera. It's a big antenna with a freestanding tripod and all that awesomeness, but then I'm going to be like, I'm going to take my little Hilltopper or my little MFJ and I'm going to run it in there. Did we get... Oh, yeah, there we go. So, let's attenuate that. So we're making it through. Cool. Oh, K6UDA. All right, go. I'm on 14.060. I've got you on the 7300. I've got you on multiple antennas. Literally, I've got you on multiple antennas. Not even a blip on the 7300. So, Chuck, for the P loop, this is the portable loop. I don't know. I don't think you do. I don't think you need it. I'm going to pull this out of the way really quick and redo this. Hold on, let's see if I can... Aha! Okay. So that's kind of what I thought. I'm going to turn all these radios off for a second. Okay. Let's do this again. I'll get there. Almost there. So the P-loop specifically has the tuning knob, which I'm going to do a video on this, I promise. The tuning knob on this one has a drive reducer on it. So your minute movements on a loop can just throw it completely out of whack. Not so with the... Oh, that's... Okay. So there's the feed line keeps getting... I knew that we'd be... The Hilltopper is easy to make, but really follow the instructions. I screwed up. Chris asks, ever thought about building a K2 Elecraft? No, I wanted to build a KX1. KX1 is the one that looks like a Hilltopper, but black and has a tuner in it. I wanted to build one of those. They stopped selling the kits like the end of last year. I just missed it. If any of you have one of those kits, I would like to buy it. My body is doing some kind of... So the further I get away and then I get closer, it dims it out. So yeah. Yep. So what I'm doing, Chuck, is I'm assuming my hand is causing interference. So I'm going a little bit past and then hoping that when I pull it away... It took me 3 times to do it, but once I did it enough times, you kind of get the feel for it. So now I'm out of it. So, just for the sake of doing it, let's connect the MFJ. I'll monitor on the 7300 in case somebody wants to try and call me on CW. So, Hilltopper is a purely CW 20-meter radio, 5-watt output, which is going to be dependent on what you feed it with. It wants 12 volts, though I don't think you can go down to like a 9-volt with this thing. No frills, although what it does do is pretty interesting. It has a onboard... Oh, don't do it that way. Onboard keyer for controlling speed, and this function knob, and I think this tuning button. They all have... This is a clicky. These are non-clicky. They all have little features to it. Holding down the function and letting go 5 seconds of tuning side tone is really nice. This radio does not have that. I think it does, actually. I take that back. I just forget how to do it. The nice thing about this radio, though, I don't need that. I keep forgetting. So the thing I like a little bit about this radio is that the phone connection is in the front. The key connection is in the front, except... So here's why I don't like this. So if you're using any kind of key, having the paddle connection in the front is really nice, like that. The problem is I use this Pico paddle. The Pico paddle is awesome for this radio because you can just slap it on the side of it with a magnet and it sticks, right? So it just stays there. It's really, really strong magnets too. So what's cool about it, this is a bit show-offy because this is not cheap, these Pico paddles. You can pop the base off, and so if you want to mount it sideways, you can do it like that. So now it's side-mounted. Feed it back in there, and boom, now you got a permanently, or magnetically attached key, but now you got your phone connection that's like kind of in the way. Audio's a little bit better, you get more gain. Oh, see, we got the lights on. Somebody's home. Nope, too much. Too much. Anyway, you get the idea. If it had the side tone, it'd be a lot easier because then I could just fiddle with it pretty quickly. Good question. James asked, did I get the full spread of band modules for this guy? This guy actually requires you open it up to change the bands. I have the 20-meter band in this right now. I have the 40-meter band and the 17 and 15. I might even have the 80. I should go get that. I'm going to wrap up this stream and I'm going to go get it. So I only have 4 of them. The 40 was the one I really wanted. This one came with the 20 and the 17. I was like, it's okay, but I really want the 40. Oh, yeah, Cracker Box. Sorry. So just in case anybody doesn't know, if you post links, they get censored. And then I got to go in, or an admin's got to go in and let them know. So, you're not going to be able to hit me, because it's 20 meters. 20 meters is pretty much dead. I guess we could switch over. Let me... Oh, listen to that. Oh, we do have a lot of something going on here. Look at all that. That's nasty. Can you see that right now? Look at all those vertical lines. That's real bad. All right, let's... I've got like no noise though. The noise floor is minimal. That sucks. This looks like a station right here. What is that? Let me fix this. Sorry. Damon Crusher asks, how best to study and get licensed? Go check out my link in the description or on the cards. I think the Hammerito Crash Course is up there. I have a live stream, series of live streams on getting your technician or general license. That's assuming you're in the United States. If you are in other countries, their licensing is going to be different. 86 DM Dennis, what's up, buddy? Okay. Well, that was an easy little stream I wanted to do just to show off this QRPGuys LED tuning indicator. A really simple kit, but if you have radios like these guys, the ones that don't have tuners, you know, the ones that are just simple radios that you know, apply power to and work CW, maybe some single sideband, they're great. I like them a lot. And, you know, to go back to how I started this whole thing, where's our boy? Yeah, I mean, how cool is that, right? Look at that picture. Don't you want to be like that? Just have a little tiny box, you know? Just a little box that you drag out into the field with a little battery. And all he's using is, I believe, a wire. I think that's end-fed. I could be wrong. And just working CW. Love that. Now, I'm going to do... Part of the reason why I made this, and I'll you know, give you a little tip of the hat to some future stuff that I'm working on. I want to talk more about the emergency preparedness radios. And radios, things to have in an emergency, and what you're actually able to do with those things. These radios have a place for that. Fairly limited, somewhat, I would say. But there's a place. It at least deserves mentioning. And I felt like I had to have something like this little tuning indicator to really be able to talk to it. So, yeah. Gordon West has... James Hannibal says, Gordon West has great audiobooks to study. Also some good study apps out there. Yeah, so to give you the full spiel, if you like learning with somebody talking at you like me, you can check out my videos. But if you're a book learner, Gordon West does some great stuff. If you like to use websites, hamstudy.org. If you, then once you start studying, go download the practice exams. Hamstudy.org has practice exams as well, but ARRL produces the practice tests that you can get an app for, which makes it really easy. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Everybody have a great rest of your evening. Back to work tomorrow for me. We are fastly approaching Dayton. I am excited, a little nervous. I don't know what to expect. I was talking to Tom Medland in an email today. This is his 35th year. This is my first year. Yeah. Forget Your Life. How's that extra class book Gordo gave you? Good. I'm actually studying for extra right now. So I kind of told myself I wanted to get much more proficient in CW before I took my extra. I felt like learning CW and being better with CW would be more immediately usable for the channel. But also I'm getting tired of like having walled off spaces that I can't get into without my extra. So I'm just going to knuckle down and do it, I think. Yep. So anyway, again, go to the Facebook group if you have not already and join that. Click the events button, and there's an event coming up for Saturday, 6 p.m. local time to Dayton, Ohio. We'll be meeting at the Warped Wing Brewing Company. And so far I think we have... So I have 13 people that said they're for sure going, another 20 that are, interested, whatever that means. And then you got Anything with Wheels. He's got some people going. There's actually a bunch of YouTubers and some of the ham Twitter sphere guys that are coming. So I'm super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I just don't know what to expect at Dayton. So you can all share that with me. I'll definitely be hosting some of the live stream for Tom. He said that they just live stream for like 10 hours straight every day, giving away prizes like madmen and women, because Katie's there. So yeah, I'm super excited. It's gonna be. I cannot tell you how excited I am. I hope if you're out there and you see me, come up and say hi. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Well, this is just an impromptu stream, so this does not, change. We're still doing the Friday stream for next Friday, and I may have an interview guest, a very special interview guest, so it should be a lot of fun. Okay. I won't be going to Discord after this. I'm going to go take a bath and then go to bed. But I had a lot of fun. So take it easy, everybody. Have a great week. Mr. Creative, it's Evan? Oh, you got it. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I will catch up with you guys later. I'm going to crash. I'm tired, and it's been a long weekend. Okay. See ya.